Very good morning, friends. This is Rahul Ghosh here. Can you all confirm if you can hear my voice loud and clear? Only 5 people as of now in the room, friends. Any particular reason? I'm sure everybody is aware that we are having this session today, but only 5 people I'm seeing. Let's wait for 2 minutes and hopefully all of them will join in. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, I guess we should go and start, guys. Only 7 people right now, but we should go ahead and start. I'm sure my screen is visible to everybody. I had given all of you all some homework the day before when we met. Have you all done the homework, and can you give me the zone levels, or can you mark them in your lab while I have a look? What was the first level we had discussed? Jet Airways. I had asked you all to plan a monthly income trade. Can you show me the zoning time frame, monthly income level that you guys have marked in Jet Airways? Can you show me the zoning time frame? Anybody who's ready, give me a yes. I'll have a look at it. Did all on my own TT. Okay, can you give me the levels? Okay, can all of you type in the levels? Then we'll have a look at it together. Can all of you type in the levels? It would be faster also. Once you type in the levels, I'll know whether what you've done is correct or not. We were planning a monthly income trade in Jet Airways, Balaji. We were planning a monthly income trade in Jet Airways. Absolutely right. That is correct, Aarti. What about the rest of you all, friends? Anthony, that is correct, my friend. Ariyant, again, that is correct. Perfect, guys. So let me quickly show it to you. I'm on Jet Airways and I'm planning a monthly income trade. All of you will agree that my closest fresh demand zone was this rally base rally over here. and my closest fresh supply well was nice and far away, all the way over here. Did you all mark the same supply as your location? Give me a yes or a no, because all the ones before that have been tested. I use my retracement tool, segregate this, and which portion of the price curve or which portion of location are we in? Where are we with respect to the big picture? Low, which means ideally we should be looking for a buying opportunity, or ideally we should be looking for a selling opportunity. Buying on which time frame chart? On the daily, on the lower time frame, you have one drop base rally over here, and you have one drop base rally over here. Anything else? This one is already tested over here. Now, how do we know that among these two drop base rallies, which is the better level to take? What is the rule that I have told you, that if there is more than one level, if there are multiple levels, then we will use a scoring system to identify which level is better than the other. That scoring system is what is called as my odds enhancers. I repeat, that scoring system is what is called as my odd enhancers. Now, the people who've got a glimpse of odd enhancers, how many odd enhancers have you learnt? How many odds enhancers have you guys learnt? No, tell me the number of odd enhancers. 3. Can somebody list out the 3 for me, please? Can somebody list out the 3 for me, please? Number of leg out, time spent, freshness. Okay, now let's go to the basic 3 now, and then we'll go through the 4th odd enhancer which you haven't learned, friends. We are going to look for the 4th odd enhancer. The first 3 odd enhancers, let me take you through the slides first. A scoring system that objectively measures the quality of a trade setup based on supply and demand. The more odds enhancers used, the better understanding of the trade setup. You will decide what is the minimum score to be accepted and what below which score you will not take a trade. The maximum score, friends, is going to be 10. I want all of you to make a note. The maximum score is going to be 10 and not 7. If we have a 10 on 10, I want all of you to write this down. If we have a 10 on 10 score, only then are we looking to take a type 1 entry. If we have a perfect 10 on 10 score, write this down, guys, only then are we looking to take a type 1 entry. I'll explain what type 1, type 2 and type 3 is. First, write this down, please. If my score is 8 or 9 on 10, if my score is 8 or 9 on 10, I'm going to look for a type 2 or a type 3 entry. I'm going to look for a type 2 or a type 3 entry. A score less than 8, I'm not going to take a trade. I repeat, friends, a score less than 8, I'm not going to take that trade. Yes, clear? Odd enhancer number 1. Is my level fresh or not? If my level is fresh, I will give it a score of 3 points. If my level is tested once, I will give it a score of 1.5. If my level is tested more than once, I will give it a score of 0. But question to all of you all, do we take tested levels in the first place? We don't take tested levels in the first place, which means by default you need a untested or a fresh zone, which means my score would be a 3. Okay, let's look at a live example and mark the odd enhancers for better understanding. Let's open up Trade Tiger and let's mark my odd enhancer. Now for this Jet Airways level, is my level fresh over here? Is my level fresh? Yes, which means I will give this 3 points. Next, odd enhancer number 2, the strength of the move. Now again, I want you all to write this down, guys. I want you to write this down. The strength of the move. If I have a gap, if there is a gap between my base and my leg out, or there are 2 or more exciting candles in the leg out, or if there are 2 or more exciting candles in the leg out, I give it a score of 2 points. I give it a score of 2 points. If there is only 1 candle in the leg out, as you can see on my screen, I give it a score of 1 point. That is, the stronger the move away from the level, the more points we will give it. The weaker the move away from the level, the lesser points we'll give it. If there is only 1 candle in the leg out, I will give it 1 point. By default, would you all agree that 1 candle has to be there in the leg out, which is exciting? If there are 2 exciting candles, I would give it 2 points. 1 exciting candle has to be there by default. If there is 1, we give it 1 point. Now in the Jet Airways example, you are going to tell me, am I going to give it 1 point or am I going to give it 2 points? Absolutely. Bhuvaneshwari, do you see a gap between my zone and the leg out? Do you see a gap between the zone and the leg out? If there is a gap between the zone and the leg out, I'll repeat the point. If there is a gap between your zone where your base is marked and the leg out, or there are 2 exciting candles in the leg out, I would give this 2 points. If there is only 1 candle in the leg out, which anyway by default has to happen, I'll give it 1 point. Here, since there is a gap, I will give this 2 points. Yes, clear everybody? What is the third odd enhancer? Third odd enhancer says that time spent at the zone or number of candles in the base. Okay, number of candles in the base. If there are 1 to 3 candles in the base, friends, 1 to 3 candles in the base, I will give it 2 points. 1 to 3 candles in the base, 1 to 3 candles, I'll give it 2 points. If there are 4 to 6 candles in the base, I will give it 1 point. If there are 7 or greater than 7 candles in the base, I will give it 0 points. 1 to 3 candles, 2 points. 4 to 6 candles, 1 point. 7 or greater than 7, I will give it 0 points. Yeah, clear? So in my Jet Airways example, how many candles are there in the base? Nikhil, why? What happened? Did you get disconnected? There is 1 candle in the base. If there is 1 to 3 candles in the base, how many points do I give it? Two points. Absolutely right. I will give this 2 points over here. I'll just repeat it for the benefit of Nikhil. Nikhil, if there is a gap between my zone and my leg out, or there are 2 exciting candles in my leg out, the odd enhancer score I will give is 2 points. I repeat, the odd enhancer score I will give it is 2 points. If there is only 1 candle in the leg out, if there is only 1 candle in the leg out, I will give it a score of 1 point. In number of candles in the base, if there are 1 to 3 candles in the base, I would give it a score of 2 points. If there are 4 to 6 candles in the base, I will give it a score of 1 point. And if there are 7 or greater than 7 candles in the base, I will give it 0 points. Because we are going to do a lot of examples, my friend, don't worry. Yeah. The last, can you please clarify the gap a little bit? This gap is filled with the wick. Because how do you look at gap fill? Can you tell me a little bit? How do you look at gap fill? How do you look at a gap fill? Because notice the candle which is in my base, because that candle, I'll remove the boring candle tool. You will see is red in color. Okay, I'm going to remove this to explain this to you, because this candle is red in color, which means it closed over here. Would you agree with me? Would you agree with me? It closed over here where my cursor is, the bottom part of the body. It's a red candle. And from there, would you agree that prices have gapped up the next day? Would you agree from there prices have gapped up? Now, in order for that gap to be filled, it has to be filled on the right hand side of the gap, not on the left hand side of the gap. Prices have to come back and fill the gap on the right hand side, which hasn't happened, my friend. Fantastic, you got it. I have a quick question. If leg out is rally base rally, should we consider 1 leg out or 2? It doesn't matter. All demand zones would have rally at the end. All demand zones will end with rally. Can you see over here, there is only 1 candle exciting over here. Let's assume there was no gap. Okay, friends, I want you to pay attention. Let's say there was no gap over here. Would you agree? Then I would give it a score of 1 because there is only one exciting candle in the leg out. Yes, no, I don't know, Rahul. Exactly. So the number of exciting candles after my base or after my zone determines whether it is good or not. Please take the level below it. If only 1, 3 exciting. What is 1, 3 exciting? What is 1, 3 exciting? Hitesh will take the level below it. Absolutely no worries. Let's look at this level. Exciting, not 3 exciting. Again, what is 3 exciting? Anyway, till you come up with that, let's go to the next one over here. Let's look at the first 3 ordinances. First one, is the level fresh? Yeah, absolutely, the level is fresh. I'll give it 3 points. Number 2, how many, is there a gap between my zone and my leg out? Is there a gap between my zone and my leg out? If there is a gap, how many points do I give it? Assuming there was no gap over here. Assuming there was no gap over here, then what would be the score? Absolutely right you are, Balaji. It would still be 2. No, Anthony, how many exciting candles? 1, 2. There are more than 2, but we are happy with 2. Or is the second one an exciting candle or no? Let's check. No, there is only one exciting candle. Absolutely right. Then there is only, see, if I turn off the boring indicator, everything goes topsy-turvy. Everybody starts saying 2. You're absolutely right, Nikhil. Just a second, guys. Just a second. Yeah. So which means I would have a score of 1 point. Hitesh, there is only one candle if there was no gap. Don't get confused. If there was no gap, then I would give it 1 point. But there is a gap over here, which I would give it 2 points. But since there is a gap over here, by default it will be 2 points. We are just taking a scenario. Rahul, some say that don't get used to. I agree. That's okay, Aarti. It doesn't really matter. Let me tell you, Aarti, in all honesty, if 50% rule, even if it's 55, it doesn't make a heaven and hell difference. We are looking for just the smaller range candles and the larger range candles. Next, number of candles in the base. Would you agree there is only one candle in the base over here? If only one candle in the base, I give it a score of 2 points. Now let's go to the last odd enhancer, friends. The last odd enhancer, that is that of profit zone. That is that of profit zone. Now please pay attention, friends. If the distance between your opposing supply zone, I repeat, if the distance between your closest fresh opposing supply zone is 3:1 on one time frame higher. Hear me out, guys. If your distance between your entry zone and your opposing zone one time frame higher is 3:1, I give it a score of 3 points. If it is between 2:1 and 3:1, I give it 1.5 points. If it is less than 2:1, I give it a score of 0 points. I repeat, I give it a score of 0 points. I'm going to repeat it, Bhuvaneshwari. If the distance between your current zone and your closest fresh opposing zone, I'm going to come to all of that, Anthony, and your closest fresh opposing zone is 3:1. Let's take this example of Jet Airways. Jet Airways, if I'm marking my zone on the daily chart, what should be my one time frame higher? What will be your intermediate time frame over here? Your weekly chart. Would all of you agree that my fresh zone on the weekly chart in Jet Airways is over here because this one is tested? Would all of you agree that this is my closest fresh untested zone? Now, if I mark my entry, if I mark my stop loss below the zone, and if I keep my target line over here below this zone, if I mark the target line over here before the opposing zone, can you see the RR is automatically calculated over here? What is the RR calculated over here? RR is nothing but your reward to risk ratio. What is the RR that you have calculated over here? It is 10.35:1. No prizes for guessing. Is it greater than 3:1? Yes, no? Absolutely. If it is greater than 3:1, then what score do I give it? What is the score that I give for it? Perfect. I give it a score of 3 points. Which means what is the total score coming to? What is the total score coming to? We are getting a perfect 10 on 10. Is it a good level to take a trade, friends? Is it a good level to take a trade? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Let's do another example, guys. Let's do another example. What was the next stock I had asked you to mark a zone in? What was the next stock I had asked you to mark a zone in? Apart from Bharat Finance, let's go to an intraday example. No, Coal India, Tata Motor DVR. There you go. Tata Motor DVR. And I think it was an hourly income trade, if my memory is correct. Hourly income trade, yes. Or was it a daily income trade? IDFC. IDFC or IDFC Bank? Oh, I said your wish. Okay, then let's fine tune it. Let's go to IDFC Bank. Okay. And in IDFC Bank, or let's go to which weekly income trade is topped out, my friend? Which weekly income trade? You're talking about this level over here, if I'm correct. Yes, no? Okay, let's look at Tata Motor DVR. Tata Motor DVR. And let's say I'm planning a let's say I want to plan a weekly income trade in Tata Motor DVR. Okay, I want to plan a weekly income trade in Tata Motor DVR. Or let's just mark our odd enhancers first. No, let's not deviate from the topic. Let's say I want to mark my odd enhancer for these two levels over here. I have a rally based drop and another drop based drop. Okay, I want to mark my odd enhancers for these two levels. Step number one, is this level fresh? Let's check. Is this level fresh? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Can you see prices have given us a feather touch and crash? This is not a fresh level. What about the above one? Is this level fresh? Yes, indeed, which means I'll give it a score of 3 points. Next, is there a gap between my zone and my leg out? Is there a gap between my zone and my leg out? If there is a gap between my zone and a leg out, how many points do I give it if there is a very evident gap? 2 points. How many candles in the base? How many candles in the base? 2 candles. If 1 to 3 candles in the base, what score do I give it? 1 to 3 candles in the base, what score do I give it? I give it 2 points. Absolutely. Next, reward to risk. If I'm marking my entry on the 60-minute, what is my intermediate time frame going to be? Nikhil, absolutely right. It is going to be the daily chart. Let's say entry. Let's say stop loss. Daily chart, where do I have a fresh zone? I have one drop base rally over here. At 235, I have a drop base rally. Do I have one before that? Yes, indeed. I have one drop base rally over here. Let's remove this one. Now let's see if we are getting a 3:1 over here. Let's go back to the 60-minute and let's place our target. Let me place a target. Even before the zone, are we by default getting a 3:1, friends? Is the opposing zone anywhere between 3:1? Yes, no? Which means what score do I give it? A 10 on 10 on 10, absolutely. I give this a score of 10 upon 10. Did everybody understand this? Give me a yes or give me a no, please. Not clear? Anthony, go ahead. What is your question? If RR is 3:1 or greater, we would give it a score of 3 points. If it is between 2:1 and 3:1, I'll give it a score of 1.5 points, Bhuvaneshwari. If it's less than 2:1, I'll give it a score of 0 points. Is that clear, Bhuvaneshwari? How to calculate fourth point? You place the entry line over here, you place your stop loss above the zone and keep your target before the opposing supply zone, which is fresh, on one time frame higher. Did you see I went to one time frame higher, and on the daily I marked my opposing fresh demand? I placed my target line before that zone. If the space between my entry and target is 3:1 or greater, it's automatically calculated over here. Can you see 6.65:1? It is automatically calculated over here. If it is 3:1 or greater, I'll give it 3 points. If it's 2:1 to 3:1, 1.5, and so on and so forth. Clear? One more example let's do. Let's look at another example. Let's open up TCS. Okay, let's mark my odd and answer score for these two levels in TCS over here. I have a rally base rally, and I have a drop base and a rally. Rally base rally and a drop base and a rally. Now I want you guys to calculate the odd and answer score. I'm not going to do it. Tell me the score for level 1 and tell me the score for level 2. I repeat, tell me the score for level 1 and tell me the score for level 2. On TCS, this level that I have marked over here. Oops, not this one. This one. All of you, you're going to let me know the score for both the levels. Quickly, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Level 1 is the upper level or the lower level, Vikas? Level 1 is the upper level or the lower level? Upper level, the score is 7 that you're saying? Check again. Upper one is 10, says Aarti. Yes, Monica, you need to check on one time frame higher. That's okay, because calculated with the profit zone. What about level number 2? Lower level, Aarti is saying 9. What about the rest of y'all? Yeah, completed it, let me know. Done, everybody? Aryant, what is score of level 2? Yes, lower level also you need to check RR. Upper 10, lower 9. Anybody left? Balaji? Srinivas, have you finished? What happened, Balaji? I'm waiting for your level. And Srinivas, what happened? Hitesh? Hitesh says 10 and 9. Srinivas and Balaji. Hitesh, okay, done. Balaji, are you in the room? Srinivas, are you in the room? Okay, I'm not getting a reply from Balaji and Srinivas. Let's go ahead and do the exercise then, friends. Level number 1. First, is the level fresh? Indeed, the level is fresh. I'll give it 3 points. Next question. Next question. Just a second, guys. Next, is there a gap between your zone and your leg out, friends? Is there a gap between your leg out? Absolutely, which means 2 points. Next, number of candles in the base. Number of candles in the base, how many? 1 candle. If 1 to 3 candles in the base, I give it a score of 2 points. Perfect. Next, my RR ratio. Which time frame do I go to, friends? If I mark my entry over here, stop loss over here, I go to the daily and I see one level. Is this fresh? Is this tested? It is tested. Where is my fresh level? Over here I have a fresh supply. Let me go back and see in my 60-minute. Am I getting a 3:1? Very evidently you will have to agree that yes, I am getting a 3:1, and if I am getting a 3:1, I will give it a score of 3 points, which means what does my total score come to? I get a 10 on 10. Where would I lose out 1 point in the lower level? Can anybody tell me? Where would I lose out 1 point in the lower level? Absolutely right. I have only 1 candle in the leg out. I have only 1 candle in the leg out, which means that instead of 2 points, I would give only 1 point over here. Everybody clear? Shall we do one last example? Let's do one last example. But is everybody understanding the concept, friends? Give me a yes or a no. That is correct, Vikas. That is correct. Sure, Balaji, I was actually calling out your name just now. You were not to be seen in the session. Anyway, yes, definitely. I can mark it. Before I come to you, Balaji, friends, I want you to mark a demand zone over here and calculate the odd and answer score, and I will come and see your lab. This demand zone over here, this mixed up looking demand zone, I want you to mark the odd and answer score over here on TCS. This is on the 5-minute chart, because I want to see how you mark your zone in this case and how you calculate your odd and answer score in this case. Because it is your intermediate time frame for checking RR. 1 time frame higher. Balaji, if there is a gap or 2 exciting candles, 2 or more that is, I give it 2 points. If there is no gap and only 1 exciting candle, I give it 1 point, Balaji. That's it. Yes, because that is correct. Pleasure, Balaji. Quickly, guys, mark your zone. TCS on the 5-minute chart, the zone that you can see where my cursor is. And let me know when you're done. I want to see how you mark the zone. Yes, 90-day 5 minutes. And I want you to calculate the score as well. Yes, that is correct, Balaji. Let's be quick. Done, friends? Nikhil says done. Let's have a look, Nikhil. What is the total score, my friend? Nikhil, what score have you given to the leg out? It is incorrect, Nikhil. What you've done is incorrect. How many candles are there in the leg out, Nikhil? How many candles are there in the base? Those dashes are not the base candles, friends. Friends, please don't make a mistake. The dashes you see on this chart are not base candles. They are the price at which the auction for the post-close data took place. They are not base candles. And even your leg out is wrong, my friend Nikhil. Bhuvaneshwari, I think that is incorrect. How many candles in the base, Bhuvaneshwari? Yeah, just a second, let everybody finish it. Yes. That doesn't matter. The rule is the rule, Nikhil. The score is 2. Let me do it on the screen for all of you all friends. Okay? Cross check if what you've done is correct. I have a drop base rally over here. This is how I mark the zone. Okay? And my opposing zone is going to be on the 15-minute time frame, which is going to be this drop base drop over here. That is my closest fresh untested supply zone. If I go back to the 5, you will see that my zone is fresh. Would all of you agree with me? Yes, no? If my zone is fresh, I would give it a score of 3 points. Next, number of candles in the base. Would all of you agree there are 5 candles in the base? If 4 to 6 candles in the base, I will give it a score of 1 point. Next, am I getting a... Now, is my strength of the level 2 points? Is my strength of the level 2 points? Therefore, I will give this 2 because of the 2 exciting candles. There are more than 2, but maximum is 2. And then my reward to risk ratio, can you see a 3.9 is to 1? Which means I'll give it a score of 3 points, which means my total score comes to, perfect Monica, it comes to 9 on 10. My score comes to 9 on 10. Did everybody understand how this happened? Yes, no, I don't know, Rahul. Balaji, one time frame higher or your intermediate time frame. If I'm planning a zone in the 5-minute chart, what style of trader am I? A 9 on 10 means that this is not as good a zone and we are not going to take a type 1 entry over here. And as we discuss some more concepts, you will realize multiple reasons on why this is not a good zone to take a trade. Perfect, absolutely right. Friends, with this, I'll come to the end of today's session. Today is going to be a 1-hour session. We're going to make up the balance 1 hour sometime next week. We're going to end our session over here. Monday, we might have an extended session. I'll keep you guys posted because we are going to start live trading on Monday. We were actually supposed to start today, but we'll go ahead and start it on Monday. And what I want you all to do is I want you all to mark the odd enhancer score of all the levels we planned a trade in yesterday. That is the 4 levels I gave you for homework. I want you to mark the odd enhancer score for all the 4 levels. Am I clear, guys? Yes, fantastic. So let's see each other on Monday morning. rather Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. No, Balaji, what you have already planned, whether you planned it on the daily or weekly, it's up to you. I am just looking for good zones where you can take a trade. If you are able to plan something intraday, we can place the order in the market also. So first preference must be given to intraday. Yes, thank you so much, guys. I'll take your leave. You need a lot of patience to make money. Definitely, Monica, if you're looking to make money, you need to have your steps in place. And believe me, once you start doing this, after a couple of months, you don't even need to mark your odd and answer score. By looking at your level, you will be able to say whether the level is good or not to take a trade. Thanks so much, guys. See you all next week on a Monday at 1 p.m. Have a great weekend. Goodbye and see you all soon.